Fires away, shot's no good, and the Spurs win. What a response from San Antonio. They do it again. An inspiring road win, and they are right back in the series. The Knicks lead cut 2-1.
Yeah. NBA Straya, how are you going? Hey, you good? You should be. Why is that, Jim? Well, it's Tuesday, June 9, all day. And basketball, give me the ball, cause I'm gonna dunk it. Yeah, we've got ourselves a series. That's right, it's NBA Straya. I'm your host, James Clements, here in Larry Armour Studios. And Game 3 of the NBA Finals, the Spurs have finally rocked up. They were there in the first two games, Jim. Yes, I know they were. That's why it's so silly. So we're going to wrap up Game 3 for you. We've got That Sunday Night, Oh Mate, No Mate, Spud of the Night, Better Than Lonzo, Ball, some Nas, and Unpopular Opinion of the Day, where we're going to rank the celebrities of Celebrity Row. And Outback Takehouse, where we're serving up a particularly tasty flame-grilled take. We do have an Andrew Gay's Great Mamba Award for outstanding achievement in the field of excellence, and then we'll pick and preview Thursday's Game 4. Jim, is Game 4, dare I say, pivotal? Yes. The next person you hear say the Game 4 is pivotal, you have my express permission to slap him in the back of the head. Very simple. So, right, let's get into it. Episode 14-15 of NBA Straya. Let's go.
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gay.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Darcy Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack.
Oh, you better look out for the Cheeto bastard attack. That's right. Woo, boy. If you're listening or if you were watching NBA Coffee Run this morning, put the video out. So when I taped the show on Saturday, I think my pick was the Knicks. And over the weekend, I'm sort of like, nah, I don't know, man. It's almost too hype. And with the Cheeto bastard in attendance as well, like, Jesus, I kind of feel like it's just going to throw off the vibes a little bit. And, so I did the NBA Coffee Run this morning and nailed it. You should also watch out for the Cardi B attack. If you're Charles Barkley, Shaq, they don't look like no Cardi B's to me. They more look like D's. That's pretty good. And you should watch out for the mealy mouth. It's just very nice that he's here, and it's just, we want to bring people together of Adam Silver, while Chuck and Kenny just side-eye him like, really, man? Really? This is the guy who's just like dragged you under the bus for the last couple of years? Idiots. Anyway, so let's start today's show the way we start every show here at NBA Straya with a daily whip around. Usually we start with me having a bit of a whinge, and I'm a bit sore today. I was up on the roof yesterday doing some, work around the house, chopping down some branches and climbing up and down ladders and everything. Woke up this morning, it's like, Jesus, why does everything hurt? And you're like, oh yeah, because I've not done any sort of exercise for about a month. It's brutal. Too much basketball, too much drinking. Very simple. Right, the actual news from today. Quinn Snyder has got an extension from the Atlanta Hawks as their coach. That's kind of nice. I think he's done a pretty good job. You saw them, especially the second half of this year, sort of respond to exactly what's going on there. So it's very smart. Bobby Webster up there in Toronto as the GM. He's also been extended and promoted to vice president of basketball ops or whatever. I think he's done an okay-ish kind of job. I think. I don't know. What does Grady Dick do? I'm just asking. Anyway, so that's cool. And the other little bit of news, we've got two of them. One of them is the Wolves unveiled some new jerseys. They've got KG wearing them, which I thought was very cool. They're kind of throwback-ish, back to almost like the Luke Longley sort of era, right? Of like the lettering, like you got the little bit of the green, you got the blue, you got the whites. It's kind of like a nice little mix. And I don't know. I think they're fine. I like that they got KG involved as well. But they're real cool throwbacks to the KG era with the tree and the wolf. Come on, man. Let's just get more of that involved. And the other really sad bit of news is that Stacey King, legendary voice of the Chicago Bulls, passed away on the weekend, which is just horribly tragic. I love Stacey King. Bring me home. Oh, no. Like the way he would absolutely froth for Josh Giddey, and to be honest, obviously any Bulls player, was awesome. He was electric, had a lot of time for Stacey King. Seemed like he was an absolute legend for the Bulls fans when you're in attendance in Chicago, for sticking around, signing autographs, being a dead set legend. And yeah, that sucks that he's quite tragically passed away. So not very nice at all. Anyway, right. Let's actually do a bit of a game wrap. Game wrap. That's right. Basketball. What a game that was. So, I think I mentioned this briefly on Saturday's show. I think, with the Cheeto bastard being in attendance, it threw absolutely everything out of fucking whack for the Knicks. And I'm going to talk about this later in general, right? Fucking with the basketball gods, with Kismet, Karma, all this sort of shit. But wow, like it was good that they got everybody in time, seemingly. There was still a lot of fuck arounds, obviously. But closing off a big chunk of Midtown Manhattan is just off its fucking head. Those poor fucking bar owners that were just like, all right, we're going to have our biggest weekend of the year. And there's like, if you're ever in New York, obviously around MSG, there's an absolute fuck ton of bars and pubs and stuff like that. Some good, some bad, some indifferent, whatever. Some real crackers in there too. But to shut it all down and be like, oh yeah, no pedestrian traffic, no walking anywhere unless you're going to a business here. It's like, well, bars are a business and they still boarded up a bunch of them. So very fucky. But it seemed like everybody was like on top of it. Lots of people got there very, very, very early. A mate of mine went, which is pretty cool. I'm now saying that he jinxed his beloved Knicks, which I think is funny. He doesn't seem to think it's that funny, but joke's on him. 2-1. Anyway, but the entire process of getting, the build up to this game has been so absolutely off its head because you had that extra day break as well, just for the froth and the fury, just to keep hitting this crazy, crazy, crazy peak. And obviously that last hour and a half before tip-off, it just reached an insane crescendo. And then when they show the orange bastard on the big screen and he's booed like the absolute bejesus, I'm like, that is awesome. Thank you, Knicks fans. You did the right thing. 12.5% tariffs, get fucked. But anyway. So that's the thing leading into this game. The place was absolutely off its fucking head. Off its head. You've got all the stringent rules coming into the game. You've sort of just thrown poor MSG attendees through a bit of a fucking loop. But they were still frothing it, which is kind of cool. The problem was the Knicks didn't really have... It felt like the Raw when they came out was absolutely mammoth. But they started off the game pretty shittily. It's like a 7-0 run to start, a couple of turnovers. And watching this game, it goes out to a 10-point lead very quickly. Wemby's just causing all sorts of havoc early on. Cat can't really do too much. Bridges is instantly off his feed. And then it sort of gets to that point where Wemby just shoves Brunson in the back of the head. And you're like, ooh. And that's not going to be a call. Okay. Sure. Did those Shaolin monks teach him that one? That was that? What was that?
What the hell was that?
The most important thing early on is that the Spurs won the non-Wemby minutes early on, right? They were playing fast. The defense was really, really, really good. They were hitting their shots. Stephon Castle just decided not to miss for most of the game, which is pretty good. Wemby was very similar. They led by, 11 after the first quarter. And then, you had this moment where Jose Alvarado comes in. You're like, oh, look out. He's got a bucket. It's going to change. And then Carter Bryant hit a three and got a block straight away. It was crazy. I think he blocked Shamet. And so Sham Wow was suddenly like, oh man, this is meant to be the game where I go off. The big difference was Josh Hart was the one sort of role player early on doing some business. Jordan Jeremy Clarkson got into it later as well, but suddenly Clarkson hits that three early on, right? Boom, he's getting into the game. Cat's getting involved all of a sudden. It's like a 5-point game. It's an 8-0 run. They get it down to 2. And the Knicks go small after Cat picks up his second foul. You've got all these trading baskets in the middle of this second quarter. And Castle at one point just runs through Brunson again. And you're like, Jesus, it looks like he's gotten hurt. And you're like, God damn. So they're just not going to call anything for the Knicks here. It's a bit of a weird one. And that sort of became a big story afterwards because in the second half, it was like 24 free throws to 8, which is a bit crazy. But by the same token, when Bridges isn't attacking the basket and doesn't really want to touch the ball and Josh Hart's not really driving to the hoop so much, there's a couple of Hart drives in there, but yeah, it doesn't really quite add up to a lot of free throw attempts. But Hart and Bridges combined for exactly 0 free throws. But even Cat, and this is the big thing, Cat's not getting any calls, especially later. And we have this run in the second quarter where Cat's sort of a little bit more involved, right? Hart has a big shot. He gets a layup. He hits a 3, and it's like the Knicks are leading. And you're like, what the hell just happened? This is awesome. Knicks fans are absolutely frothing it. They're losing it. Brunson hits a 3 as well. They're up, 5, and then he gets another, Cat foul at the end of the end of the first half with that wedgie. And they lead by 7 heading into the first half. It was a 10-1 run for the Knickerbockers to close it out. A 42-24 second quarter. They shot 14-19 in the quarter. And it was the most the Spurs had given up all postseason in a quarter. It was a Knicks finals record for a quarter. But then, the story for me was writ large at the very start of that third quarter. Cat can't really get much going. They had 2 bad turnovers right out of the gate. Champagne hits like a 3-1. It's like a flagrant. It had a potential to be a 5-point play. And you're like, oh, that's not a great foul. Brunson getting called for a flagrant for being in the landing zone, I thought was bullshit when Champagne's landing like a 1.5 feet further forward from where he jumps. And Brunson's got his back to him and his feet placed towards the hoop. So he's not even in there. He's not deliberately doing it. You're like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. Anyway, and there was another turnover right after that. And I go, the reason the Spurs are in this game is because of the fucking turnovers. And we sort of just keep going from there, right? You've got this really interesting arm wrestle of a game where no one can really eke out much of a lead to the point where we sort of just keep going. There's 11 Knick turnovers halfway through the third quarter. Vassell's finally hit a 3. The Spurs lead again, this sort of stuff. Josh Hart hits another 3, though. They go back up. And there's the 4th foul on Brunson when Wemby goes to sit as well. It's huge. It's the last 4.5 minutes of the third quarter. OG and Hart basically keep them alive, the Knicks, because Cat and Bridges are doing absolutely sweet F-all. Jordan Jeremy Clarkson hits another big shot in there as well. But then Cat misses one in the paint, and he's just not getting any shots to go. Sham Wow misses another shot. He then finally hits his only 3 of the game. And Champagne just answers straight away. And you're like, this is just going to be an absolute just dick punch of a game for the Knicks, isn't it? Harper finally hits a 3. He was the only one he hit all game. And that goes into the fourth quarter, 92-91, after Bridges finally gets a shot to go, which he probably should have passed to Clarkson, who was flaming hot, but here we are. And the fourth quarter, God, this was good. You basically get to this point where it's like a 7-8, 92-91, Knicks are down. It's a 6-0, straight out of the gate run from the Spurs. The Knicks don't score for the first 3.5 minutes. And this is the big problem with the Knicks. They have these just periods of these finals games where they go ISO, 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 and they get nothing. They go through these huge scoring droughts. And Cat is just standing there going, oh my God, pass it to me. And you're like, just you're really good when Cat's involved. When he's on the floor, get your man Cat involved. He had 1 assist in this entire game, and it was the biggest thing outside of the turnovers for the Knicks that just completely did my head in. But still, you have that Wemby 3 and 1 that's reversed because Miss Rob has pushed into him. Brunson scores. You get this massive 6-point turnaround. It's only a 5-point game, 7.5 minutes to go, 195. They have the challenge on the out of bounds. It's pretty crazy. You got some free throws. OG still hitting shots. It's still a 5-point game, 102-97. Brunson with his 4 fouls. I remember Fox just going at him and scoring a bucket. Very smart. Harper's blocked by OG. You had the Brunson and 1 in the paint after a Cat miss, which was massive. 104-100. And you're like, this is like, what is going to happen here? This is just, again, crescendoing into a really, really fun game of basketball. The big problem was the Knicks weren't playing the way they really wanted to. And this is so much down to the Spurs defense. It's down to Harper being so awesome and so active. Castle was absolutely making Brunson's life hell. OG was fantastic for the Knicks, but Bridges couldn't do anything. There's this massive oop to Wemby that he just sort of gets at it. There's an incredible weird one as well where Shamwell, with 4 minutes to go, drives off the 3-point line to challenge Wemby. It's like, Shamit, just slow your roll there, buddy. I reckon you probably got a better chance of hitting the 3 than the layup against Wemby from behind you. So he gets the shit blocked out of him. Brunson hits some free throws after Wemby has a pretty weird trip where he misses a 3, then misses a layup. But it's still 108-102. Cat has a 3 that goes in and out. And this is like one of the biggest moments, I reckon. Because at that point, it's 0 of 9 on 3s for the Knicks in the fourth quarter. 0 of 9! Vassell misses a 3. There's a block party in the paint. It's like Castle blocking Brunson, then Fox blocking Cat. Wemby blocks Cat after that as well. Brunson hits a huge shot with 2:20 left. It's 108-104. And the absolute linchpin of this game is the Stephon Castle buzzer-beating grenade 3. There's like no time left on the shot clock. Wemby goes off. I don't want this ball. I don't want to shoot this. How about you, Stephon Castle? And passes it to him. As it's ticking down, he rises up, launches a prayer, and splash. 111-104, only a minute 50 left or whatever it was. It was such a big moment because then Bridges misses a 3 up the other end. They were 0 of 10 at that point in the fourth quarter from downtown. Harper misses one. OG hits some free throws, but he misses the first one pretty crucially. Hits the second, so it's still a 6-point game with a minute to go, 111-105. Harper misses another bloody 3. Then Brunson hits that huge 3 with 30 seconds left. And you're like, this is it. This is exactly what they're going to do. And De'Aaron Fox, bless his cotton socks, hadn't hit shit basically all night, goes, right, Cat's not going to let Wemby screen for me. I'll just get to the free throw line and hit a nice little jumper. It was huge. They gave him too much space, too much time. Really just like let him get to his spot. He rises up, hits this beautiful little jumper from the free throw line. It's a 5-point game. And it was just that little bit too far because OG then hits a 3, massive. The corner 3 was insane. 9.4 seconds left. It's a 2-point game all of a sudden. They foul Castle. He hits both. 115-111. You've only got 6.8 seconds left. And that's kind of it. Bridges misses a turnaround 3. They get the ball back. OG misses. Spurs win. It's 2-1. And the entire crowd is just despondent. And it's all come down to like some pretty bad New York offense, some pretty rubbishy turnovers. And you don't want to blame the refs, right? But it was kind of a bit of a weird mix where I feel like a lot of the Spurs did benefit from some pretty weird fucky calls. The Knicks, it did feel like they were getting a bit manhandled at times. But really, it's just hit some fucking shots and you probably give yourself a chance. And the turnovers combined with that lack of offensive production from Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns really, really stymied, like found money in a really good Josh Hart offensive game. Jeremy Clarkson with 10 awesome points off the bench and like Brunson's most efficient offensive night so far in the finals. So really, you can't blame the refs because you weren't attacking the basket probably quite well enough. But yeah, I can at least see Knicks fans' point of like the Spurs copping some pretty fucking cheap ass fouls on one end, whereas the Knicks Not quite either. So Mike Brown might have had a point. But anyway, the Knicks 13 turnovers versus, 7 for the Spurs. They just did such a better job of looking after the ball. And it's like those empty trips, like the Knicks just really can't sort of afford them, right? So 45% from the floor, 13 of 37 from 3, 18 of 22 free throws versus 25 of 32. So 10 more free throws in the end for the Spurs. But really, it's because the Spurs didn't let Cat dictate terms against Wemby, right? They didn't let Cat dictate the way the offense was going to go. They sort of pushed it all onto Brunson and went, all right, if Josh Hart's going to make shots, that's fucking fine. And the only reason the Knicks were in this was because of Josh Hart and then like a bit of Jordan Jeremy Clarkson in there and OG Anunoby turning into a combination of Scottie Pippen and Ray Allen, which is pretty crazy. But Brunson finishes with 32. He shot 11 of 25, 3 of 5 on triples, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 turnovers. The 5 turnovers for Brunson was the real sticking point, right? It's just like he's not a high turnover kind of dude. When he looks after the ball, they just tend to do very well, and they just pressured him. Like the length and size of Castle and co. It was just a lot. They're asking him to do a lot. And this is the weird part. You've got Karl Anthony Towns there. We've already seen that when he's like a really big part of the offense, you do well. He had 11 and 8 and 1 assist. They stopped him from being a creator and it completely fucked him up. 4 of 10 shooting for his 11 points, 0 of 2 on triples. As I mentioned, that last one in the fourth quarter, it goes in and out, and you're like, oh, there's a kick in the dick. OG was unreal. 28 points, absolutely stellar. 3-7 from 3, a couple of blocks. And Bridges, look, at least he got some cardio in. 2 points, 1 of 5 shooting, 0 of 3 from 3. Free for free? No. A turnover, whatever. Hart was very, very good. 16 points, 4 of 7 on triples, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 turnovers. Really, really solid game. But the big problem was Sham Wow goes 1 of 8. He's been on a legendary hot streak, and it came to a screeching halt today. 1 of 8 from 3. 1 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 7 of which were from downtown. So the one time that he drives, he gets it deleted by Wemby. Not ideal. Deuce McBride played 9 minutes, went 0 of 2. They were both threes. Alvarado was pretty solid in his minutes, 4 points, 2 of 5 shooting. Gave him a little bit of a burst of energy, but it wasn't quite enough. Like Alvarado, I guess when the vibe is so hyped, Alvarado getting out there to give you a burst of energy, everybody's already so high up anyway. It didn't quite work out. Jordan Jeremy Clarkson, though, doing wonders for the Filipino Americans. 10 points in 13 minutes. 2 of 2 from deep, 4 of 7 all overall. He gave them the necessary juice. So when you've got him and Hart having these little explosive sort of like offensive games, but when Cat and Bridges and Sham Wow can't get anything really going that much at all, that's where the Knicks fall down, right? I said this in Saturday's show. The Knicks are absolutely at their best, especially at home, as we've seen during these playoffs, when everybody's kind of almost equally involved. Right? It's like not almost sort of when it's overbalanced or even underbalanced, maybe even the case of Bridges, where you're trying to get a couple of transition buckets or something just to get him going even a little bit. And like Hart getting to 12, 14, 15 points. That's when they excel. That's when they look awesome. That's when it's the whirring offensive machine of death. And the Spurs completely discombobulated that today in fantastic fashion if you're a Spurs fan. And oh boy, got him good. Speaking of which, the fast break points, it was crazy. The fast break points, they had 5 for the Spurs. You had 15 for the Knicks. And the Knicks are the team that are trying to play fast, and that was, not quite there, was it? They gave up 21 points off their 13 turnovers. It's a bit of a rough one, versus 7 off the Spurs turnovers. Wemby, he had 32, 8, and 6 with 3 blocks. He was awesome and everywhere. It was kind of a weird game, right? Because he was getting down low early, which is kind of good to see. He had a very impactful game. Defensively, he was kind of a little bit all over the shop, though. But still ends up at 11 of 18 and 2 of 4 from downtown. Awesome game. Castle, though, for me. Castle was the pick of the bunch. I'll talk about this in a second. But 23, 5 and 5 with the steal and a block. Absolutely carved it up. He had 2 of their, 8 turnovers, 7, 8 turnovers. But still, the way he controlled both ends of the ball was awesome for the Spurs. Harper has 13, 9 rebounds and 4 assists, 0 turnovers. Not bad for your 20-year-old rookie. De'Aaron Fox, so he has the 12 points and 4 of 14 shooting. But it was also sort of that last shot that he hit that really was the dagger. Bang! Which was very, very, very big. Very, very important. And we'll probably get lost in sort of like the wash of all this. But that's what he's there for, right? He had 2 blocks and a steal. He had 8 assists. So he's getting to the spots. He couldn't hit too many shots, obviously. 4 of 14, 0 of 5 from 3. But Fox, that's why you have him there. The steady head at times. Did a good job. Champagny, 12 points. He went 3 of 7 on threes. Vassell went 3 of 4. And that's a big difference as well, right? A couple of those sort of role player shooter types for the Spurs hitting 3 threes each versus basically you've got OG, Hart, and Brunson with Jordan, Jeremy Clarkson being the only ones to hit threes essentially for the Knickerbockers. You got Keldon Johnson being a plus 14 in 17 minutes. Big game for Keldon Johnson, 6th man of the year. Cornette had 2 and 5. Carter Bryant's 4 minutes were unreal. I love him. I don't know who I was messaging the other day, but I'm like, he rocks. He comes in, just causes all sorts of havoc. He hit a 3 and then had a block, and that was it. In 4 minutes, he caused all that sort of havoc. Cornette's minutes, I mean, I do like that the Knicks see him and their eyes light up. But wow, the Knicks just got thrown off their feed by this San Antonio defense, I think, in this game. Mitch Johnson, I mean, Mike Brown was doing some pretty good stuff, but the 4th foul on Brunson, Cat not being the sort of offensive anchor that they needed him to be, it sort of allowed Wemby and Castle and the other Spurs guys to sort of, when they would have their own droughts, just to sort of weather it just a little bit easier because it felt like they found a couple of easier baskets. Everything that the Knicks were doing, it felt like blood out of a stone. So, great win for the Spurs. They're on the board. The win streak for the Knicks is over. And the NBA Finals is 2-1. Look out. Here's trouble. That's pretty fun. What's going to happen in Game 4? Who knows? But anyway, let's do an NBA Straya Approved Performer of the Night.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
I'll tell you what. Wemby's pretty good. I also find it weird that you've got the refs calling him Wemby. I don't like a ref using a nickname. Right? 32, 8, and 6 with 3 blocks and 2 steals. Just a stupidly good game. 11 of 18, 2 of 4 from 3. But really, Stephon Castle was the reason the Spurs win this game, right? 23, 5 and 5, 8 of 14 shooting, 2 of 5 from deep. He was just awesome. A steal and a block, but had 18 in the first half, and that basically meant that as they got off to that flyer, up by 11 after the first quarter, and then down in the second quarter, you get that. But he kept them sort of in the game. Hit some big shots. His defense on Brunson was special. So we'll give it to both Wemby and to Castle because they were awesome. What a combo. They're 22 and 21. It's just silly. How about Mikal Bridges and Spud of the Night?
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the Night.
Yeah, because Mikal Bridges was the runaway winner of Spud of the Night. Yes, he did some good stuff. He was like a plus 11, I think, in his minutes. But that's also why when you're watching the game, you're like, is he out there? What's he doing? Defensively, what? I mean, he was kind of okay-ish. And you have these games where you watch him and you're like, all right, can you just use your length to get by someone like you have? We've seen you do it. And then he'll have these weirdly passive games. So he shot 5 times today. 5. 2 points, 5 shots. You've got 25 shots of Brunson. You've got 10 each for Cat and Hart and 13 for OG, who's absolutely off his head. But Mikal Bridges probably shouldn't be shooting as many times as Jose Alvarado, right? ShamWow put his hand up pretty hardcore for Spud of the Night, going 1 of 8. And yes, you've got Fox going 4 of 14. You've got Harper 5 of 18. But Bridges was just that more egregious sort of thing for me because obviously when he doesn't play great on offense, the Knicks tend to look a lot worse than they are. And that's exactly what this was. So 29 minutes, 2 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and a turnover. It was just a bit ugh. And so, yeah, an egregious meh game in a final spot. Especially after everyone's been blowing smoke up his ass the last 2 games. It's really, including me, it was awesome. But wow, that's just not great. And I think, as I was saying the other day, like, you can always tell with Mikal Bridges, if his body is going towards the hoop, it's a good thing. If his body's going away from the hoop on offense, it's a bad thing. Very simple. So Mikal Bridges, runaway winner of Spud of the Night. Landry Shamwow Shamit, 23 minutes, 1 of 8. Minus 20 in his 23 minutes, close runner-up. How about old mate, no mates, though?
Old mate, no mates.
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 Who's got no mates today? Probably the Cheeto bastard who got booed just righteously loudly. I enjoyed that and was asleep already in the third quarter. Yeah, I don't know why we're persevering with that. But anyway, also Jalen Brunson, old mate, no mates, just reckless. The reckless closeout call was a bit bullshit. Him just getting whomped in the back of the fucking head by Wemby and the no call was a bit strange. And then Castle just running straight fucking over the top of him was, again, pretty how you going. So, bit of a weird one. And also, honorable mention, Mike Bloomberg, former mayor of New York City, getting absolutely axed by Jose Alvarado in the... just, Jose goes flying into the crowd and axes old mate Bloomberg. So, yeah, bit of a rough one. But still, yeah, the boos, the raucous booing. I enjoyed that a bit. Pantsing of the night. Yeah, it was ShamWow getting deleted by Wemby. But still, my favourite was probably Fox blocking Cat under the rim. Like Fox just going, whoop, nope. And Cat going, oh my God. He's like, yeah, Cat, you should probably should be going a little bit harder to the rim so you're not getting blocked by De'Aaron Fox. That's a bit of a pantsing. But really, it's kind of like the Knicks fan base, the Knicks team itself. Like the hype was so much that this is just like a pantsing of the entire fan base. Because it is the hope that kills you. You're up 2-0. You're going home. You're like, you win this. We're up 3-0. Look out. It's all over Red Rover. And here we are. Jordan Shrug. That's a pantsing. The Spurs pants the Knicks at home. First game in MSG in an NBA Finals game in 27 years. And bang. Who was better than Lonzo Ball, Bronny James, and Ben Simmons?
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. That's Dylan Harper again. He's always just going to win it because he's that good. What did he have? 13, 9, and 4? Probably should have been a 15, 10, and 4. I think they gave like Wemby one of his rebounds. Like it was a Wemby miss and then like Harper tipped it in off the rebound. But anyway, he shot 5 of 18 and 1 of 8 from 3. But my favorite thing is he doesn't give a shit. Like there is absolute, like he's the opposite of Ben Simmons. There is zero fear in Dylan Harper. Ben Simmons is a wobbly, gelatinous mass of fear. I'm afraid, sir, they might see me shooting and missing. Shut up, Ben. Shoot the fucking basketball. Dylan Harper doesn't give a fuck. He's 20. He's like, I am awesome. Check this out. And he was so fucking good today. Enjoyed that a lot. All right, and finally, the magic tweet of the week. I was in awe of Victor Wembanyama's performance tonight. Not only did he score 32 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists, he also became the second youngest player to have 35-5 in the victory over the Knicks on their home court. Brackets, behind some kid who played for the Lakers. Cry laughing emoji. I think we know who that is, don't we, Magic? The entire Spurs team deserves a lot of credit for believing they could win and coming out and executing their game plan. They couldn't have won without help from Castle, who stepped up tonight with 23 points, 5 rebounds and 5 assists, and 4 other Spurs ended in double figures. Harper scored 13 points, Champagny and Fox had 12 points, and Vassell finished with 11. And what do we say? Thanks, Magic. It's just fantastic. All right, let's do some quick yeah-nahs right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington.
or commonly known as Wertho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're listening to
Straya.
NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
All right. Let's do some yeah nahs. Brought to you by you. That's right. They're brought to you by you. You can help us out and buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. Very simple. You get to join the Dead Set Legends Club when you do. This is how you support the show. It's our version of a Patreon. Go check it out. You get exclusive stuff every month as well. We'll actually be taping the exclusive show, I think, maybe tomorrow. So yeah, that'll be fun. Anyway, buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. Sign up, help out the show as well. If you're running a business or whatever and you want to advertise on the show as well, you can do it through there or just hit me up. Very simple. Right, let's do some yeah nahs. Number one, was it too hype in their gym? Yeah, nah, yes. They built them up to such a frenzy that I think they maintained it very well. But I think when you're reaching such a crazy height as a fan base, and the hype is just like almost overwhelming, when it dips, that's the problem, because it's that noticeable. Because it was up here, and then it goes if it only just goes back to sort of happily neutral, it sounds kind of disastrous. And I think you were never going to get a measured response or a measured approach from the Knicks fans. You never were. And that's awesome. That's part of the charm. And you can't be like, act like you've been there before, because they haven't. That's the cool part about being a fan of the Knicks right now. It's like fucking 27 years since you were last in the finals, right? So don't act like you've been there before. No, you don't have to. But the problem is when it's built up and up and up and up and up and up, when it doesn't deliver, the repercussive kick in the dick is like fucking tenfold. So that's what happened. Ugh, it was a bit how you go. And yeah, like, of course, the Cheeto bastard being there didn't help matters. And I think that sort of adding a layer over the top of it really sort of made it even more hype and even more unusual. And I don't think that was good. I actually forgot to tell this story at the start of the show, but yeah, I was there in Brooklyn for when Prince William and Kate, Princess Kate, I guess at that point, were they married? I don't know. Kate Middleton. When they were in Brooklyn for, I guess it would have been Cavs, right? Cavs Nets. So LeBron's in town. It's like a big fucking deal. Jay-Z and Beyonce were there and they met in mid-court. It's like, aha! American royalty meets British royalty. Lovely, I guess. And but the security shit for that was absolutely fucking stupid and crazy. And the same thing happened obviously today at MSG. And you're like, yeah, it's just a fucking pain in the ass, right? And it's so hard to stay hyped for the fucking, like if you're getting there 2 hours beforehand for like this sort of 4.5 hour stretch, the way it sort of wears you down as a fan, I think that also sort of eventually does that to the players a little bit too. And yeah, the Knicks just, I don't know. I don't know if they fed into it a little bit or if they sort of got swallowed up by a little bit. I don't think it helped is kind of my point there. So yeah. Whereas the Spurs, the young, inexperienced Spurs, like the way that they were sort of able to, I guess, default back to throw it to the really big fucking dude gave them a pretty handy advantage. Whereas the Knicks just sort of got out of their own shit and kind of shot themselves in the foot by going away from Cat. So, should the Knicks be worried, Jim? You're up 2-1 now. Yeah, nah. I mean, it would be the funniest thing in the world if the Knicks went full, 2021 Suns? 2021? Yeah, that sounds right. When they won the first 2 games against the Bucks and then lost the next 4. Now, they didn't win the first 2 games on the road in Milwaukee, so it's a little bit different. But would it be funny? Yeah, nah. Oh, yes. yes, it would be very, very, very funny because the 2-0 lead, I was explaining to the squid this morning. He's like, so Dad, New York won the first 2 games, right? I'm like, yes. And they won them in San Antonio. I'm like, yes. You're very smart for a 7-year-old squid man. He was like, so it's best of 7. I'm like, yep, that means that San Antonio have to win 4 of the next 5 games to win the thing. He's like, wow, that is hard. I'm like, yes. Yes, it is hard. But not impossible. Right. So I don't know if they should be worried because I think Game 4 is going to be absolutely massive. Cannot wait because I'll tell you what, as I said at the start, anyone who uses the word pivotal, you can slap in the back of the head. But I feel like the Knicks will have at least figured out what they did a little bit wrong in this one. And yeah, they'll sort of go from there. But it would be pretty fucking funny. I want other people to let me know what they think, all right? Because I picked the Knicks to win this. But yeah, the 2-0 lead, they're having the hopes up so high and then being dashed quite expertly. I'm kind of here for it. Can the Spurs win both in MSG though? Just can they level the series? Yes, they can. We saw them win already in MSG. So the proof is quite literally in the pudding because the pudding was the win today in Game 3. So yeah. Other big one though. Have we completely fucked the challenge system? Yes. Like the reward for winning both challenges is that you lose a timeout and you don't have any more challenges. And the thing is, it's like, the reason we challenge is because you guys fucked it up and got it wrong. So why do I not have another challenge? And like there was the cat foul late under the basket where Wemby got him and somebody else got him as well. And Mike Brown's like losing his shit. There was no call. And you're like, yeah, that would have been a good challenge. But they blew their second half challenge on the out of bounds call, which ends up being like a fucking, they get the ball back. So yeah, you take away one possession from the Spurs there, but that's a weird one because there's no guarantee that you take possession away from them that they would have 100% scored on that. Whereas if you're getting fouled on one end, you probably want to challenge that because that way, if you've lost the ball, if it's a foul on a shot, it's like 2 points. So yeah, I don't know. The challenge system's still a bit fucked. Anyway, Dave B had a good one. Hey mate, hope you enjoyed the trip. I really did. I really enjoyed the trip. Should Mike Brown send a thank you letter to De'Aaron Fox for undermining him at the Kings and getting him fired? Cheers, Dave. Yes. There is like not a happier man. After 2-0, there wouldn't have been a happier man in the world right then than probably Mike Brown. On one hand, he could be the coach of the Sacramento Kings, right? The most moribund franchise in all of like the NBA. Or he could be the coach of the New York Knickerbockers of New York City who are up 2-0 going back to MSG. Yeah, I think he probably wrote a happy thing, like at least a message to De'Aaron Fox going, hey man, look, I really got to thank you for getting me out of Sacramento. I really appreciate it. That's a good shout, Dave. Appreciate that. All right, unpopular opinion of the day.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
So, I was going to rank the celebrities in Celebrity Row. And you sort of go, yes, like how do you want to rank them? Is it by coolness? Who would you most want to get a beer with? And that's usually how I'm sort of probably going to roll with it. And it also got me thinking, more than anything, how Celebrity Row for MSG is kind of like, oh man, look at these super fucking cool New York people. And you're like, it's not actually that great of a Celebrity Row, really, right? Like Seinfeld apparently didn't get tickets. Larry David was there. But you think like Spike Lee, excellent director for a long time. Also, famous Knicks fan. His entire thing is I'm a Knicks fan. Chalamet, incredible actor. Look at me, I'm a Knicks fan. I've also got this hot bird. Check it out. Jay-Z, it's like you're a part owner of the Nets. What are you doing here? Derek Jeter, Eli Manning. It's like when you're other sports guys from New York, I get it. That's a big thing. Love Tracy Morgan, Tina Fey, John McEnroe. I get it. Ben Stiller, John Stewart. Tom Felton was there, which I thought was pretty funny. Fat Joe, Justin Tuck, John Luigiano. John Turturro, I assume, would have been there. It's all very New York, right? It's all super duper New York. Fat Joe is the funniest one. It's like, why the fuck does anyone care about Fat Joe? Right? Couple of bangers and that's it. It's a bit weird. Anyway. But the thing is, they're all very, very about New York and they feel very New York, which I guess is the appeal. But the more I thought about it, I'm like of all the really famous people we've got going, like, it is a bit, oh yeah, that's fine. Chris Rock was there. I enjoyed that. But anyway, who would you most like to get a beer with out of all the celebs? I think it's Chalamet. Maybe Tracy Morgan won. Because you just imagine a night on the tins with Tracy Morgan. Like, it's going to go crazy. We understand that. Chalamet, I think, goes number 2. I kind of think, like, probably Jay-Z 3. I think Spike Lee would probably just be a bit too fucking annoying. But you could sit there and ask him, like, about making Malcolm X and, like, just his, like, the Black Klansman and a bunch of other fun Jungle Fever, like all the fucking crazy Spike movies over the years. But I don't know. Would he be fun to drink with? I don't know. Derek Jeter. He just seems like a dork. Same goes for Eli. Fuck him. I think Tina Fey would be pretty fun. Jon Stewart would be fun. He might be a little bit much, though. I think the answer, like, to round out a top 5 of, like, you know, Tracy Morgan, Chalamet, probably Jay-Z. I mean, Jon Stewart is fine. But, I mean, McEnroe's got to be in there. He'd just be absolutely off his head. It'd be fun as. He'd be telling you all these stories about Bjorn Borg and shit. And he'd be like, tell me more about Stefan Edberg. Yeah. Fat Joe's, like, not high up there. And I guess Ben Stiller is the weird one. Because it's like, how cool is Ben Stiller really? Right? I don't know. Just leaves me feeling a bit, oh, look at him. He's like got this incredible like eye because he's a director. And he's like filming from the side. It's like, yeah, because he's fucking courtside in a Knicks game. He's pointing an iPhone. Like, if he didn't, I'd be fucking worried. Anyway, how about a bit of Outback Takehouse? It's Tuesday at Outback, and you know what that means? Oh, yeah. Chewy Tuesday. We caught a couple of bats in the backyard last night, a couple of golf clubs, and whack! The thing is, you cook them up, they get a bit chewy, they're a bit rubbery. You think about those wings, but it's all right. It's Chewy Tuesday, only at Outback. That's right, bat wings. It's bloody delicious. Today's Flame Grilled take is, you fucked it. You fucked it, Knicks. You had the vibes. You had everybody on your side. It's an honest-to-God, actual fucking fun Knicks team. Everybody's rooting for you. You're feeling great. And then your dumb fuck owner has to go and bring in the Cheeto bastard. What are you doing, you dumber? Not only that, he goes Bob Kraft, Howard Lutnick, half the fucking Epstein files are in there. And you're like, well, that's fuck the vibes. Only at Outback. This is too much Dancing with the Devil. Like, Dolan had sort of risen above the Knicks fuckery very well, right? He's letting Leon Rose and Worldwide Wes do their shit. And then he has to fuck it up. And I'm almost positive that's fucking the vibes, right? Suddenly you got like all the fucking breathless articles about how much the tickets are costing, and that's right, $10,000 to get in is fucking crazy. But yeah, inviting just like the worst dudes, it's just a bit, nah. It's like a brutal misunderstanding, I think, of what this Knicks team means and what it means to the fans. And then, yeah, you go and do it that way, and it just sort of fucked everything a bit. So, Dolan, undefeated. Spurs in 6? Question mark. Anyway, Andrew Gay's Great MAMBA Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence.
It's the first annual
Andrew Gay's Great MAMBA Award. Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence. Stephon Castle, as Magic Johnson pointed out, 23-5-5. There's only 2 other players who have had a 25-5 finals game at a younger age. Tony Parker, 62 and Magic Johnson. So 23-5-5, 8 of 14 shooting. Stephon Castle. That is an outstanding achievement in the field of excellence. When you're being thrown about with Magic Johnson like stats, you've done pretty well. Same sort of goes obviously for Wemby. So not only that, with Castle with the 25-5, third youngest all time. If you have him and Wemby, the pair of them became the youngest pair of teammates in NBA Finals history to both have 20-plus points a game. Not bad. Good size. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Also, last one for old mate, no mates, Stephen A. Like, what the hell? He copped one from the Orange Bastard as well, which is pretty funny. So,
What the hell was that?
calling him a low IQ individual, yeah, not great. Anyway, let's do a game preview for Thursday. Oh, yeah. All right. We can do a Patty Mills game day before we check in because he's been very busy. How's our man, Patty? Here we go. Ball of Pat. What's he up to? The Guanche lived in terrain that demanded something from them every single day. Steep mountains, isolation, wind, scarcity, caves. The people who still live in Anaga today don't do it because it's convenient. It's home. And there's a toughness to that life, a relationship with adversity. Game 3 in Madrid was about being comfortable in difficult conditions. When the game gets messy, when the refs miss calls, when they grab and hold, when momentum swings, your legs get heavy. That's Anaga. Oh, that's playoff basketball. Good on you, Patty. What I've learned from my time in Tenerife through the Guanche people in Anaga is this. We play for an island built by people who learned how to endure. He had a massive game. What do you have, like 29 points? So, yeah, Patty is doing all bloody right. All right, speaking of doing all right, let's do some game previews. Game preview. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Yeah, not bad. Old mate's sick. So I'm sort of hoping that I avoid the lurgy for at least a couple more days and I can get through game 4 and then if it knocks me out for a day or two, then we get another, 2-day break. So anyway, I am 3-0 so far in these finals. We went the Knicks the first 2 games. We changed it to the Spurs for game 3. Nailed that. So that was good. How are we feeling for game 4? I am absolutely fascinated by what everyone thinks is going to happen in game 4. The New York Knickerbockers of New York City are 1.5-point favorites for game 4. And as much as I think the series being 2-2 would be hilarious, and it would be. You can't tell me that it wouldn't be the most funny thing in the world watching all these Knicks fans suddenly have to deal with like a 3-game series with 2 games in San Antonio. They have to win game 4. They have to. It's the entire point of winning the first 2 games on the road is to not sacrifice the next 2 games at home. So I am actually going to take the Knicks minus 1.5. I think what we'll probably see is probably more Cat on offense. Bridges hopefully doesn't suck as much. They don't probably get as much from Clarkson, but ShamWow probably doesn't forget how to shoot and probably hits a couple more. But I guess what I'm after probably is more offensive balance, right? Because the Spurs, what we saw today, is kind of exactly what they want to do. They want to have Wemby as the centerpiece. They want to have like either Castle or Harper be very, very, very good, and the other one just be pretty solid. That's exactly what they got. They want Fox to hit a couple of clutch buckets, just do a little bit of Fox stuff. They want Champagny to hit a couple of threes. And that's kind of exactly exactly what they got. If the Knicks defense can just stop that from happening a little bit better, right? I think the Knicks can probably do what they've done time and time again in these playoffs and probably pull off like that big, oh yeah, we're really good, check this out, game at MSG. So the two games that they won against the Cavs, one was the OT game, right? And I still kind of feel like this could have gone, like if they defended that Fox bucket better late in the end of the fourth quarter, who knows what would have happened. I feel like we might have gotten to overtime and they might have run them out. So you think about Cavs game 1 in MSG, they end up winning that by 11 after overtime. They win the second game by 16, 109-93. The two games against the Sixers, they kicked the absolute flying crap out of them the first game. The second game was a bit closer, but they still won it. And then the Hawks game 5, they smashed them 126-97. That was kind of like the, oh, look out kind of MSG game. I don't know if San Antonio are going to get smashed, but I think the Knicks will probably have learnt a little bit from game 3. They'll probably be a little bit more settled for game 4. And I think the offense is just that little bit better and they'll defensively be a little bit more on song. The problem for them is that Wemby might have a better defensive game than he had today, where he was kind of a bit shit house. So, I don't know. But I'm going to take the Knicks minus 1.5 for the moment. So, the game isn't until Thursday, so I will do a Thursday NBA coffee run, of course. So, yeah, if anything changes, you'll hear it there. So, yeah, should be good. Remember, you can obviously follow all of our picks over at Dabble. The link is in our show description and our social bios, so go do that if that's your thing. Right, but that is it. What a game. We got ourselves a series. No sweep. If it is a gentleman's sweep for the Knicks, it still goes down as one of the great playoff runs, but I think it's going to get pretty complicated, and I think it's going to be a really fun series. So, yeah. All right, what we'll do is we probably won't do another show until Thursday. We might do a Dead Set Legends Club tomorrow. I think we've got time for that. So, if you're in the Dead Set Legends Club, keep an eye out for that in your inbox. But also, if you aren't a part of the Dead Set Legends Club, A, what are you doing? B, go sign up. buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. Make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, and YouTube. I think we're going to do a social clip tomorrow as well. So get around that. NFL Australia. What else? Jim does Supercoach. We'll have a Supercoach show go out tomorrow as well. And what's the other thing? We've got Footy Unfiltered with myself and Jez, taping that one tonight. Big weekend of footy, wasn't it? So if you like your AFL, go subscribe to Footy Unfiltered. That is unreal. Follow all of those shows, like, subscribe, star, comment, obviously on your podcast apps. YouTube, jump on the YouTube for all those shows as well. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song They Rule. So do House Hats, Josh Delarendis, Fascinated Goldmines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa, Sexual Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear. Smash them on your music streaming platform of choice. And that is it. Nothing at the end of this one. I've got to get out of here and go sort out the squid. So we will catch you on Thursday for Game 4, you dickheads. This is NBA Straya saying, look after yourselves, would ya? Hug your mates, and later, hosen.